This is Dr. Karim, and I'm truly glad you're here with me today. If you're over 50, or even approaching it, you probably have a small collection of supplement bottles sitting somewhere in your home. Magnesium, vitamin D3, K2 for bone health, zinc, fish oil, maybe a B complex. You take them faithfully, believing you're doing something good for your heart, your bones, your mind, and your long-term health. And that belief is not wrong. But there's something most people don't realize. Taking supplements and using supplements are two very different things. Every week, people come to me and say, Dr. Karim, I take my vitamins every day, but I'm still tired. I still can't sleep well. My muscles feel tight. My mood is low. My D3 levels barely rise even after months of supplementation. What am I doing wrong? And I always tell them the same truth. The problem is not the supplements. The problem is the timing, the pairing, and the form. Supplements are like instruments in an orchestra. You can have the most expensive violin, the finest piano, the most beautiful flute, but if they are out of sync, if they come in at the wrong time, the music collapses into noise. Most people are not taking the wrong nutrients. They're taking them the wrong way. Let me tell you about someone I call Mr. Zahir, one of my patients. He's 59. His kitchen counter looked like a miniature pharmacy, 12 bottles lined up next to his tea kettle. If you walked in, you would think, wow, this man really takes care of himself. But he felt miserable. He was exhausted. His sleep was broken. His muscles cramped. His joints were stiff. And even after taking vitamin D3 for 6 months, his blood test barely moved. When I looked at his habits, everything became clear. He was taking D3 at night, right before bed. He was taking magnesium first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. He was taking zinc and magnesium together at the same time. And he wasn't taking K2 at all. He wasn't supplementing, he was confusing his body. And his body responded with confusion, fatigue, poor sleep, low vitamin levels, tension, irritability. So let's begin with the foundation. Vitamin D3 and magnesium, the inseparable pair. Vitamin D3 is not just a vitamin. It behaves like a hormone. It activates hundreds of genetic switches related to your immune health, muscle strength, energy production, and mood. Think of vitamin D3 as a key, but even the best key cannot turn unless magnesium is present. Your body requires magnesium to convert vitamin D3 into its active form. Without magnesium, D3 simply floats around, unused, like a password you never typed in. The phone, that is why so many people, especially older adults, take vitamin D3 for months and still show low levels. Not because D3 failed, but because magnesium wasn't there to help it work. And here's the second problem. As we age, magnesium levels naturally decline. Our stomach acid decreases, our diet becomes narrower, stress uses up our stores, and medications often interfere with absorption. So the very nutrient needed to unlock vitamin D3 keeps shrinking just when we need it the most. Then there's the issue of magnesium type. The most common one on the market is magnesium oxide, the cheapest, and ironically, the worst. Only about 4% of it gets absorbed. The rest leaves your body unused. But forms like glycinate or threonate, 4 to 6 times more effective and gentle on the stomach. Now let's bring in the quiet conductor behind the scenes, vitamin K2. Many people don't realize this, but vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption. It pulls calcium into your bloodstream. That's good, as long as the calcium ends up in the right place. Because if calcium goes to the wrong place, your arteries, your joints, your kidneys, you get problems: arterial calcification, stiff joints, kidney stones. K2 is the traffic director. It tells calcium, you go to the bones, you go to the teeth, you stay out of the arteries. Without K2, D3 becomes incomplete. Together, D3 and K2 are like a driver and a GPS. The driver can move the car, but without directions, they might end up in a dangerous place. But even when you take the right nutrients, timing makes or breaks the entire system. Your body runs on a 24-hour rhythm, a biological concert. Every hormone, every enzyme, every chemical messenger follows this rhythm. When you take a nutrient at the wrong time, you interrupt the natural flow. Vitamin D3 behaves like a morning hormone, just like sunlight and cortisol. Taking it in the morning, preferably with a meal that contains healthy fats, supports your energy, mood, and metabolism throughout the day. But take D3 at night, and your body may interpret it as daytime, interrupting melatonin and disturbing sleep. Magnesium is the complete opposite. It is nature's evening lullaby. It activates GABA, the calming neurotransmitter that helps your brain slow down. Taking magnesium 60 to 90 minutes before bed helps improve sleep quality, reduce nighttime anxiety, relax your muscles, and stabilize your nervous system. So D3 belongs to the morning. Magnesium belongs to the night. They are partners, but partners with different shifts. Zinc is another misunderstood nutrient. It's vital for immunity, hormones, healing, and metabolism. But zinc competes with magnesium for absorption. Take them together and both lose effectiveness. That's why zinc should be taken at lunch or early evening, hours away from magnesium. Just that tiny shift can prevent digestive discomfort and improve absorption. Then comes vitamin B6, the overlooked enabler. Magnesium cannot efficiently enter your cells without B6, especially the P5P active form. Many people take magnesium, yet still feel tense, get twitching eyelids, or experience restlessness, simply because their B6 is low. Adding a B complex with breakfast can transform how magnesium works inside your body. And of course, omega-3s, your body's natural anti-inflammatory oils. Omega-3 reduces joint pain, improves brain function, supports hormones, and even helps calcium move into bones instead of arteries. Many of my patients feel their mind clear and their joints loosen within weeks of taking a proper dose of omega-3. But even then, one final piece determines whether any of this works: your gut. Your gut is not a tube. It is an ecosystem. It determines what enters your bloodstream and what gets wasted. If your gut lining is inflamed, if your enzymes are low, if your gallbladder is sluggish, if your microbiome is damaged from antibiotics or processed foods, then even the best supplements will pass through your body without benefit. For instance, fat-soluble vitamins like D3 and K2 require proper fat digestion. If your gallbladder isn't working well, or if you've had it removed, your absorption drops sharply. That's why some people benefit enormously from digestive enzymes or ox bile with their D3 meal. And your gut bacteria produce some of your vitamin K2 naturally. If you don't feed them, they can't feed you. Fermented foods, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, are like little factories that restore your internal K2 production and improve absorption across the board. Here's something most doctors don't say. Two people can take the exact same doses of D3 and magnesium and get completely different results. Because of genetics. Because of